this video, I'm bringing you another unique grind video, actually with two nibs though this time. So this pen in question is the Benu Euphoria in the Earl Grey tea colorway. This was a Goulet Pens exclusive. For those of you not familiar with Benu, they have really standout, kind of loud models to their pens, and they always go the extra mile when they make stuff. In this model specifically, those black dots you're seeing in here, or little specks, those are actual Earl Grey tea they cast into this resin. I am not the biggest fan of their nibs. When I first got this pen, I thought the body was gorgeous and I really like everything about it. And the nibs are just plain steel nibs, but for me, they just didn't write very well. I had this pen in a medium and a broad. This is the broad, this is the medium. But what I did is I actually reached out to Damien from All in the Nib. I have his card right here for you. What he does is he custom grinds nibs. There is a wait period to it. When I sent this to him, it was probably a little more than 10 weeks, so be prepared for that. But it's nothing bad. You do pay in advance, so you're kind of just waiting at that point. But he communicated back and forth with me to work on the exact version of the nib I wanted because I wanted something kind of unique. So for this first one, this right here is an oblique, right-footed CSI kind of nib with a Waverly finish as well. What I was looking for is I've never really tried an oblique nib. They usually aren't made left-handed stock, so you kind of have to get those separately. So for left-handed, as you can see, it kind of curves this direction. For left-handed, or sorry, that's the way for left-handed. For right-handed, it would curve this way. So I'm not normally able to get them, but I got that. I also got added the Waverly, just slightly though, so where the nib is bent more up than it would be naturally, so it can accommodate a higher writing angle. As far as line variation, he did include these cards right here. They explain what the nib is. Right here, you're looking at the cross stroke. Right here, you're looking at the downstroke. He also has my name and then kind of what I was wanting, a writing sample when I got it back. These are really nice. This is the first one for the first nib. Let me get the one for the second nib. For this one, it's his in-house grind called the Cutlass grind. What this one is supposed to do is it's supposed to give you different widths dependent on the writing angle, so the higher up versus the lower. For his paper right here, you can see the writing sample, but as far as the downstroke, you're looking at 0.25 to 0.3, but then when you look at your cross-stroke, you're looking all the way from 0.2 to up to 0.55. So you get some pretty good size difference and variation there. You'd probably get more if you used a broad, but I used the broad for the other grind, which I'm going to show you the writing sample for both now. For inking, I went with two colors that I really wanted to separate and stand apart from each other. The first one is Pilot Blue. If you're not familiar with this is a stock Pilot ink. This is a special bottle. I believe the new one comes with a black cap. I could be wrong, but I know this comes with the 823 I bought, and you can get them with certain other pens and stuff too. But this is the Pilot Basic Blue. For the second color, what we're going to be using is Pelikan 4001 Brilliant Red. If you've never bought Pelikan ink before, they're relatively cheap compared to most other bottles of ink. I think they're a pretty good price point. The biggest draw for this one in comparison to the blue is I really wanted the colors to be like opposite, not be the same and be very different from each other. For this first one, we're going to do the RF oblique CSI. He includes these in there, which tells you the grind and then the nib style. So with this, I want to show you a few different things you can do as far as my writing. I'm not going to do a normal writing sample for this. One is because it's got that Waverly thing, I can get up to a really high angle and it was still able to write, which is really good. I also have, since you get those really, really thin side strokes and those thick downstrokes, I can get really cool lettering. So I'm just going to write like the word home, I guess, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Super nice variation. You get a lot of ink down when you apply the pressure. It's really nice. The other thing I don't want to forget is I don't ever do reverse writing, but the way he's got the tipping on top, I actually can do reverse writing. It's pretty uniform when you do that because you're obviously not going to be applying a lot of pressure, but just I'll do it right next to that so you can see. So there's reverse writing. Again, your strokes, your side strokes. I write with a slanted angle. That's kind of why I wanted to try this nib to see how it would work going sideways like that, and it seems to work just fine. There's sometimes this is happening, which could be because I just inked this. I don't know. It could also be me, but I just wanted to show you guys, especially with that. I could have almost gone even a little further with the Waverly finish, but it's just super nice. I really like this. For this one, I'm going to be using the Cutlass grind by Damien. This is his in-house grind. Looking at some writing with this. So I like to write sideways as you saw with the last pen, but it gives you more variation with this too. So like, let's write the word the. Without using any sort of like pressure or anything because I'm writing sideways, I can see the difference in the stroke with like that one versus like maybe the middle of that H versus the bottom of this E. It's really nice. This one has a nice feedback to it too. It's super light. It wouldn't compare it to like Sailor or anything. It's definitely lighter than that, but it feels nice. I like how this writes. In conclusion, how do I feel about my first experience having Nibs ground? I really enjoyed it. I think it was a great experience. I think that there was not much I could complain about. There is a long wait period, like I said, but you really expect that. There's not a ton of people that do this. And on top of that, he did communicate with me back and forth. He let me know if there was going to be an extended wait. He let me know if he had an estimate of when it would be done. He let me know pretty much everything. I feel like he communicated great. Trying both of these nibs, I'm excited to do even more writing with them. I love that they came with these little samples that show you what he did and stuff like that. They came in, I didn't show the box, but they came in a box and they both had these little, um, I guess you'd call them like vials or like ink sample bottles that had both the nibs in it. So they were protected really great when they were sent here. You got the cards that showed you what kind of nib, what kind of grind. I just think it's a really good experience. I had fun and I kind of don't want to, I'm not saying I created that handed nib. I did not. But working with him to kind of discover what I wanted to try and what we wanted to go with was just a good experience. I just think that this is a great pen, and I think that now with the upgraded nibs, or I'm gonna call them improved, whether you want to agree or not, that's up to you. But I don't know that I like Schmidt nibs too much. These ones now, I'm gonna have a lot of fun. It makes the pen stand out even more. I want to include his card one last time before you go. I reached out to him via email. I'm sure you can reach out to him in any method he has listed on his card. Again, thank you, Damien, for the grind, for the experience, for the conversation, the dialogue back and forth. It was really helpful and insightful, and I kind of learned a few things, and I'm looking forward to use these even more. All that being said, be sure to like, comment, subscribe down below. Thank you.